We are now 1 week into the Easter season, and spring has truly sprung. The weather is warm, the breeze is cool, at least it was when I wrote this, and the flowers are in full bloom. After a long winter, the world is truly alive again. The word resurrection refers to things that have died or seem to have died, coming back to life. We see it in nature all the time, when rains refill a dry pond and deer return to drink from it, or when bears and rabbits come out of their dens from hibernation. Think about caterpillars wrapping themselves in cocoons and pulling themselves out again as butterflies. They completely transform themselves from creepy critters crawling on the ground to colorful winged creatures flying through the air. We humans do this too. Sometimes these changes are in our bodies when they grow and change in amazing ways. I certainly don't look as cute as I did when I was 5 years old, but I can do things now that I never could back then. Sometimes these changes are in our hearts and minds and spirits. Think about times when you had a bad day, gone to sleep, and woken up refreshed, ready to start a new adventure. Think about times when you've fought with a friend, only to apologize, make up, and start a whole new friendship with them. Think about times when you couldn't swim or ride a bike, then one day you learned, and a whole new world of fun and possibility opened up for you. Life is full of challenges, even feeling defeated, followed by beautiful resurrections. Which brings me to a special part of our service today. It's a sermon through movement and music. The great choreographer Jose Limon once said, "We are never more profoundly human than when we dance." So this dance hopes to share with us something about what it's like to be alive and to be a human being, even if it was actually inspired by a mythological creature. The dance portrays a phoenix, or someone like a phoenix, a magical bird that lives, dies, then comes back to life. They say that when a phoenix passes away, its body catches fire and burns down to ashes. Then from these ashes, the baby phoenix emerges, grows, and learns to fly again. I first made this dance 9 years ago. It was a time when I was changing a lot, setting down old habits and picking up new ones. I had recently changed jobs. I had just become a father. I was healing from surgery, so even my body felt shaky and new, like I had just crawled out of a cocoon and hadn't yet learned how to fly again. I wanted to make a dance that expressed how hard and sad it was for me to let go of the old me, but how mysterious and exciting it was to know that a new me was blooming inside. Also, my father, who had lived a long, wonderful life, had just passed away, and I missed him very much. I loved thinking about him and knowing that he was always still with me in spirit. I wanted to make a dance for him too. So I used the story of the phoenix to inspire me, as well as other stories about resurrection, like those of Lazarus and Jesus. And I used a beautiful piece of music called "The Lark Ascending" by Ralph Vaughan Williams, which sounds to me like a bird slowly waking up and learning to fly. In this dance, you will see my dear friend, Mary Ford-Sussman, dancing the role of a person or a phoenix. You can decide for yourself if she is a human or a bird or a bit of both. Ending one life and beginning another. She starts in a position of prayer, perhaps receiving light from heaven, or maybe folded up in an egg or a nest. Then she will slowly look at her hands, or maybe her feathers, and begin to discover new parts of herself, new strengths and new freedoms, like wings. Is growing and changing easy? Not always. Sometimes it's very hard. Just ask that butterfly pulling itself out of its cocoon, or a baby chick picking its way out of an egg. Sometimes we want to crawl right back inside our shells where it's safe. But all that effort, even fear and doubt, is needed for the new creature to train its muscles and build its strength. You may even see Mary finally fly, only to spill to the ground and slowly get back up again, just like a phoenix does, just like we all do every day. Now, I would like to call forward Mary Ford-Sussman for this special prayerful performance.